Colombia does not get a result, they'll be stuck at 21 points with 2 matches to play. And if Venezuela surprise Uruguay and win in Montevideo, Uruguay, Venezuela, Colombia will all be locked at 21 points, fighting for 2 automatic spots with 2 games to play. So this match tomorrow night for Colombia is massive.
Argentina hosting Colombia. Argentina already flying through the qualifying process. They've got it locked up. Colombia, though, occupying the last automatic spot on the CONMEBOL table. Welcome back in, everybody. Nate Bukaty alongside Ian Joy. Ian, was about a year ago. We were talking about Colombia rattling off 25 matches without a loss. All of a sudden, over the last 7 matches, it hasn't gone well, and now they find themselves going to Argentina, really needing a result to put themselves in a decent spot.
Yeah, very interesting game, very interesting matchup. Now, obviously, it's getting very close for that final spot in qualification to the World Cup. Obviously, with Argentina already qualified, there's less pressure on them, but with them having the opportunity to try and sort of showcase their talent, maybe welcoming back Lionel Messi and putting out a very strong starting 11, it doesn't bode well for Colombia, that's for sure. And Colombia desperately need to try and go for all 3 points. I don't think they go there and necessarily play open and potentially look for 2-3 goals. I think what they try to do is go with the tactical approach of being smart, trying to figure out Argentina, understand where their opportunities to go forward will be. But the biggest problem I've got is, as you mentioned there, they've been in such poor form, obviously, since that last time when they competed against Argentina and got the victory. It's not been a great run of results. Only 1 victory in that period of time. And the losses have been really concerning, but yet also playing against poor oppositions. The most recent one against Peru, where it's not been good enough, obviously. Looking forward to seeing if they can turn it up on the day, because they certainly have the talent to do so. But the shots on target need to improve. That last game, 0 shots on target. That's where it needs to get better.
Stakes are certainly high for Colombia, even more so than Argentina in this match. For a preview, let's check in with our own Felipe Cardenas.
So Colombia travels to Buenos Aires, and they're going to have to face Argentina, the top team in the world and a high-flying team in South America that has already cruised through qualifying. And Colombia is going to have to get a result in a stadium where they have not won since 1993. The last time Colombia won that in Buenos Aires was a famous 5-0 win before the 1994 World Cup. But present day, Colombia has gone from being one of the top teams in South America, one of the best teams to watch in the world last summer, a finalist of the Copa America, to a complete mystery. And the talk in Colombia is why has that happened? Why have they fallen off a cliff? And a lot of the fingers are being pointed towards Nestor Lorenzo, the Argentine manager. Has he lost the locker room? There were reports of a dust-up between him and John Duran at halftime of the 0-0 draw with Peru. Lorenzo, John Duran, James Rodriguez have since come out publicly and said that those reports were false, that the team is united. The problem is that John Duran said after the game he was removed from the starting lineup at halftime due to a coach's decision. The federation then said on Sunday that he was being sent home due to a back injury. So which one is it? I think it really encompasses the problems that are taking place within that national team. They can't find their form. They didn't have Luis Diaz against Peru. Is he the answer? Are they dependent on a player like Luis Diaz? And can he find a way to keep this team competitive against Argentina? Because if they don't get a result, if Colombia does not get a result, they'll be stuck at 21 points with 2 matches to play. And if Venezuela surprise Uruguay and win in Montevideo, Uruguay, Venezuela, Colombia will all be locked at 21 points, fighting for 2 automatic spots with 2 games to play. So this match tomorrow night for Colombia is massive. If they can just walk away with the draw, they will celebrate that. But the odds are stacked against them right now.
A pretty bleak picture being painted by Felipe there. A couple things to point out. He mentioned Luis Diaz suspended for the last game, so he'll be back. That should give him a boost. When it comes to Venezuela nipping at their heels, not only do they go to Uruguay, they also have a match at Argentina down the road with the last 2 qualifiers. So it's going to be a tough road for Venezuela as well. But let's focus on Colombia. How did they go from a side just a year ago that were the hottest in all of the North and South American continents to a side that seemed to be squabbling in the dressing room and can't get their story straight on star players? What has gone wrong for Colombia?
Yeah, it seems like there's a problem with the chemistry within that group as well. Inside that locker room, many troubling stories coming out of there, obviously, as Felipe just pointed out there. What happened with John Duran is a complete mystery to all of us. And, of course, it seems to be contradicting stories out there, which is very difficult for us to believe which side is correct and which side is false. I mean, John Duran obviously has made the big decision to go over and play in Saudi, and all of a sudden he has maybe got this chip on his shoulder. He expects to be the one who's the main man, and sometimes you forget who the main man probably is there. I would still say it's James Rodriguez, but at the same time, there's a lot of big characters in that Colombian side that needs to step up and put a performance together. Sometimes, and I'm just going to throw this out there because I don't know the truth, who's telling the truth or not, but sometimes if there's that thorn that's within the group that doesn't help bring the chemistry together, and that thorn, let's just say it is John Duran, who's been complaining, been moaning, poor in front of goal, very poor in the first 45 minutes, obviously, before he was taken off in that game. Let's just say it is him, and you pull him away not only from the starting 11, but you pull him away from the group, and the group reacts. It doesn't bode well for John Duran getting forward, but also maybe this is an opportunity for the group to really come together. Because if there is that one person that's not been gelling well with the rest of the group, or maybe has been a pain in the backside, I actually believe that they might be able to put together a strong performance. Now, of course, you're going up against Argentina, so you have to be at the best of your abilities to be able to do so, and there's not a lot of confidence in that Colombian group right now. So I'm intrigued to see what happens. Felipe made a great point, and you mentioned it as well. If Venezuela do get that victory, 3 teams being on 21 points is absolutely insane going into the final 2 match days. But I also go back to the victory that stats simply don't lie, okay? Venezuela haven't won against Uruguay since 2016, so it's been a long period of time away from home, obviously, that they could actually even go there with confidence to get that result, but you never, ever know. In South America, anything can happen, and that also means in this game as well. Colombia might be down and out. Argentina might be through already. So expect the unexpected in big games like this. It can happen. We've seen it so many times before.
We've also seen that Colombia can fail to qualify. They did in 2022, did not make it to the World Cup. Now, it's an expanded field, 48 teams this time. You've got to qualify this time around if you're Colombia, right?
You have to qualify, of course. I expect them to qualify. I think Venezuela will be the one that misses out. That's my personal opinion. You pointed out, of course, they've got Argentina after this next game coming up against Uruguay. I do believe that Colombia will get it together. And let's not forget, this is also a Colombian side that is so dangerous. They can score goals. They can create a ton of opportunities, similar to what they did do against Peru more recently. I mentioned that they didn't have a shot on target, but they took 15 shots in that game. So it's not for the lack of trying and the lack of effort within this group. They obviously took care of business against Chile, but they're also a team that did take care of business against Argentina when there was something on this line. So the quality is there. Having Lucho Diaz back, I think, completely helps them. In this group, in the starting 11, utilising his experience, utilising what he does have, obviously, after coming off the back of a very difficult season, I think he's going to be someone who sort of lights a fire within this group. Watch out for this result. I'm just going to throw it out there. If Messi comes back into the team, I would expect Argentina to try and go for all 3 points and potentially entertain us all. But Colombia are a team you can't rule out. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Look, Argentina want to win the game. Colombia need a result. So there is difference in motivation. But when we talk about an Argentina side that have already qualified, that doesn't mean that they're just going to lay down in this match, right? Pochettino has said, when you play for Argentina, you play for the badge, and you're in front of your home crowd, there's an expectation for them to go out and perform in this match.
Yeah, there is an expectation, and they've been scoring a lot of goals and not conceding many goals as well. I think they've got the second best defence after Ecuador throughout the qualification process so far, which is very impressive. However, again, that pressure's off you a little bit, and sometimes you can take the foot off the gas somewhat. I still think they'll want to entertain. It'll be nice to welcome back Lionel Messi if he does start this game. If not, he will get in. But some of the most recent results have been very, very good. I mean, obviously, the goals against Chile, very good without conceding. Bolivia, without conceding, they got 6. Against Brazil, they scored 4 with conceding 1. They're just in a good run of form right now, so it's very difficult to envision anyone obviously competing against them right now. But with that lack of pressure, sometimes things can happen. And with the immense pressure on Colombia, I just wonder if their best players step up on the day. Take that thorn out of the team. Sorry, John Duran. I've just got a sneaky feeling they might get a goal or 2 in this game.